Hey everybody, welcome to the show today. So this video I wanted to share, I always try to be personal and vulnerable. It's about how I got super pissed last week, super angry. I was super righteous and how much it sucked and how it took me 5 days to get over it. But what used to take me 5 years, I was able to do in 5 days. And I'm going to kind of share the process of how I did it, hopefully how it can help you. And that I don't want to come across as like a know-it-all and like I'm better than everybody else. It's certainly not the case. And just that I wanted to identify this situation because I thought it was really helpful because it kind of showed me everything in like 5 days, which has taken me 5 years to learn, and really 20 years since I started doing all of this back in '03. I guess 22 years, because I started breathing and meditating. I got sober, and then I started like learning all this stuff about acceptance and love from Sri Sri. And some of it I lived easily and some of it I didn't. And then, fast forward, I've talked about this in so many of the other videos, go through my separation from my wife at the time, COVID happens, and I kind of was lost without an identity. And then I did my 12 steps, and this gentleman from California and I got really close. And he said, if you put the work in, stuff's still going to happen. It's just that you won't live in the town anymore, you'll visit the town. So I visited the town of Anger or Righteousness and living on Anger Street. I visited there for a couple of days and it was awful. It sucked. So I guess the video, I just want to make sure that I get this across and then also help you identify where you go and what's your town you revisit. And are you visiting there? Do you take up residence? Do you stay for the summer? Do you even go on a sabbatical, go there for a year? Because it sucks. It sucked what happened last Friday. It sucked that I lost my anger. And it sucked for me because I felt gross. And then when everything moved on Wednesday, I just felt so much better. And it just was, I just felt lucky that I have all this. So I just wanted to go through this process to explain what happened. And then hopefully you can take something from this to see for your own life what you can do. Because it is a process, it is effort. And I was talking to someone about this the other day that was signing up for the coaching that I'm doing. It's like, look, I'm sure you're watching this right now, and it's like, you're not in an acute situation. Like there's no fire. You might be listening to this in your car. You could be sitting at home, probably on your phone, however you're consuming it. And it's like nothing's really happening right now. But all of this work it's not work like digging a ditch or driving a truck, which I thought work used to be. This is work on the interior. So you're getting ready for those high water marks. Like you're getting ready for when you get that phone call or that text or something happens, someone comes in and they have that ashen look on their face, like we got to talk. And you're like, what the hell? And your life's about to go like this. So it's like getting ready for that stuff. This is what it is. So anyways, let's get into it. So last week, the details don't matter really. An old friend came to visit. We're having some conversations. I didn't really like the conversations. I kind of asked if this person would stop talking about this stuff. It continued. I was annoyed. I guess I didn't ask properly. And then the next day, conversations continued. Opinions were shared towards me that I didn't really appreciate nor ask for. And then eventually, after asking several times calmly, I just lost my mind. And I used to be so proud of my anger, and now I'm not proud. And this, I just lost, literally, it was pre-COVID, I lost my mind, cussing and swearing and I asked. Is this the only way you listen? And then of course, things didn't go well after that. And we kind of separated ways. And then I realized that I was angry. I would be a fool if I didn't realize I was angry. And then I realized very shortly afterwards that I was being righteous, but I didn't care. And I was like, whatever. I asked. This person continued, and I got upset. It's justified. I'm justified. So there's the first, okay? So this is where a belief comes in, all right? So the first question is for you, what are you doing when you're acting righteous? What is the emotion, and what are the preliminary, what leads up to it? And then when you're there, what are you acting like? What are you sounding like? How does it feel? All of these things we want to identify. And then So there's the first thing, is beliefs. And we can call them truths because they're facts. As far as we're concerned, they're facts. Like, for me, it's like, you don't tell me what to do. And if I ask you politely and you still do it, then I'm going to lose my mind. I'm from Windsor, Nova Scotia, and this is the way it is. There's a right and a wrong. And you've done it wrong enough times. I've asked politely. Now I'm taking the stick. Oh, it's just so hilarious to say out loud, but that's what goes through my head at the time. So then it leads into, so now I'm right. Now I have a stand. I'm right. And I'm now going to start telling that story. So this is what the gentleman from California said to me. And you can see this, and like we do this, like we'll say everybody's sick. You talk to 3 people and they're all sick. So you say everybody's sick. Well, everybody's sick. 4 people are sick, you and 3 other people. And then, but it reinforces to us, like, I'm okay. It's okay. So you tell your story, you're kind of selling it. Like for people who they say can't sell, it's like we can certainly sell our stories when we want to have someone else buy into our perspective. So I found myself, I came home that night. I was driving home. Like, I'm not telling my girlfriend. First thing, like, she's like, peanut butter. I'm like, you'll never believe what happened today. So I obviously still super angry. And then I woke up the next day and I could see that I wanted to call people and, tell the story. And I used to do this all the time. And this gentleman from California who's 80, such a great dude, and, put so much effort into himself with sobriety and meditation and spirituality. He's like, just observe how much you tell your story. How much are you telling the story? So the question for you is, when something happens to you, how much do you tell the story? Do you post it on on social media? Do you text people the story? Do you call people and tell the people the story? How are you telling your story? Because this is how we share mostly, that narrative. That's how marketing works. It's not like a Volvo is a good car. It's like a Volvo will provide you stability and safety for your family, so you can arrive somewhere safely and you never have to worry. Like a Lamborghini is selling prestige and I don't know, fastness. I have no idea. I don't really like fast cars, but when you say Lamborghini, you just get an image of your head of who's buying it. Like a beautiful woman in a dress and a really good looking man in a suit, and they're driving around really fast and being super cool and doing cool things. So this is what narratives and stories do, and this is how we tell throughout history, how we get stuff across. So there I am, I'm telling story. I'm like, oh God, here I am. So I'm like, okay. So then I was like, okay, let me go see the guy, and I won't say anything because I don't want to get into a verbal joust again. I'll just give him a hug, and that'll be it. So I went to an event. He was there, gave him a hug, but it was pretty half-assed. I want to be dead honest. And I woke up on the next day, on Sunday, still feeling like, why did he say that? But just like in my gut, in my shoulder. So like we're 36 hours past the event. I clearly have not done any acceptance. I'm just angry, like, and my stomach's churning and all this stuff. So I did. So then the question for you is, like, when do you make an effort, but it's really not an effort, but you can justify it to yourself? You're like, well, I did it. So where are you making, it's like, the half measures, because in recovery, we say we have to take care of, clean up our side of the street. So what is your side of the street that you have to clean up? Johns Hopkins medicine, unresolved conflict carries an enormous physical burden, contributing to chronic anger that increases the risk of depression, heart disease, and diabetes. Forgiveness, conversely, calms stress levels, leading to improved health and an increased forgiveness health connection as individuals age. There I am. Now it's Sunday morning. Now it's my day off. I'm excited. It's like I'm supposed to be excited because it's my day off. Go for my big walk, spend time with my girlfriend, maybe see some family, maybe watch wrestling, maybe watch some basketball, all the things I like to do. And I'm just now chewing on this, right? So there I am, ruining my day because of my held beliefs, which are limiting beliefs, from the stories that I've told myself, and from the town I'm visiting, righteousness and anger, from an incident that happened on Friday afternoon. So now I'm 48 hours out. So you ask yourself again, like, how long is this going on for you? And what stories are you telling yourself? And what beliefs are you holding? And where are you living? Are you living in the town that you don't want to live in? Or you do want to live there? Are you not even aware you're living in there? All right, so then Sunday continues, and I'm still holding it. And then Monday, still holding it, and I can feel like I'm almost hungover, right? I almost feel hungover like I used to when I drank. And I feel disgusting. I know phoning the person's not going to help. I know he had sent me a text, a beautiful text, and I sent him a little heart in response, still half-assed, and still holding it all Monday. So then Tuesday, I'm like, oh my God, we have a men's dinner every once a month on a first Tuesday of the month, and the Diamond Dogs, great guys, we're having such a great time together. So I go to the Diamond Dogs, and now this is community, and we've established community, and we've established honesty. So my buddy was there at dinner, and he's a professor, psychology, he's a counselor. You know, he does so much work with PTSD for the province of Nova Scotia, and he just looks at me, he's Christian mystic, loves the energy of that love of Jesus, seeing everyone with the eyes of love. He always says, when two or more are gathered, there I am. He looks at me and goes, oh, you're carrying something, brother. So I looked, and now I told the story, but I didn't tell the story to get approval or to get an ad, like a support. I told it to like air it out, and I did it, and the boys listened, and then we just let it go, and we moved on to other things, and then we returned to it about an hour later, and so that really looks like that was weighing on you heavy. Your shoulders look less now, and I'm like, yeah. So that felt nice. So question for you is, where's your community? Where do you have community? And who can you talk to? Not the people that are going to like just rubber stamp, oh yeah, you're right, they're like that, none of that stuff. Where they're going to like actually hold you accountable and be like, well, you know, like, what are you? What did you do? And what can you improve on? And how, because it's all about us. It's not about anyone else. And like, that's why Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning is so incredible, because it's like, even in the concentration camp, he was still choosing to be happy in the most extreme situation. It's stimuli, and then Frankl says pause, and then response. Stimuli, pause, response. Not stimuli, respond, pause. And then that pause is the decisions of our whole lifetime. And this is what this video is kind of about. We have a stimuli, and I react it with extreme anger, which I used to do all the time and I thought was justified, but now I don't like it. And then the response. So the question again is just go through that stimuli, pause, response with yourself. Just have a think about it. It's really beautiful. And I mean, Frankl said, I wish my book didn't sell so well. I wish it wasn't so popular, but it still sells, still a bestseller now. So I come home, and then I do what I do when I'm in extreme acute gratitude or pain. I do something called Guru Puja, which is a thanks to all the masters that have ever lived, all the teachers that have ever lived. And for me, I think of that back to all the people that taught everyone in my life. And I'm like standing on giants. And then of course it gets very personal. I think of my relationship with like my spiritual teacher, Sri Ravi Shankar, my mom and my dad, my stepmom, Jesus, who I love so much. And I think of these guys, and I stand on those giants. And I don't want to live anger and righteous. I don't want to live that way. And I've made a commitment to myself to do that. And the question again for you, lots of questions today, is where do you not want to live? What do you want to leave? What do you want to let go of? So I did Guru Puja. So this for me is gratitude, prayer, and reflection. So if you don't have a gratitude, prayer, reflection process, find one that works for you. You know, there's 1,000 different ways to get up to the top of the mountain, but there's ways to get to that place of gratitude and prayer and reflection. So I got there, and then it was like, finally it moved. And I was exhausted on Tuesday night when this was all done. And I went to bed, woke up, went for a little walk. Maybe I worked out. I don't know what I did. Did my Sudarshan Kriya breathing. I did my Sahaj Samadhi meditation. And then I got my phone and I just texted my friend, I love you. I'm sorry if I did anything to hurt you. And I meant that so much. And then it was just like, it just all went. And then I texted my friend, the professor who's a Christian mystic, and I said this to him. I sent a note saying sorry to my friend if I hurt him in any way. I said, it was too much to carry. I said, thanks for the help. And he wrote back, that's awesome. Anger, resentment are exhausting. Love and forgiveness are lighter. Love you, pal. So that lightness came to me. And for 5 days, I lived with that heaviness. And I don't want to live with that heaviness. I don't want you to live with that heaviness. And that's why I don't want anyone to live with this. That's why I'm doing all this. Why I'm telling people that I think breathing and meditation is fantastic. Why I think yoga is fantastic. Meet Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. If you're addicted to something, get sober. Emotionally, physically, spiritually. Do the 12 steps and explore. Find your way. Look at everything and find your way to the best version of this you, like the internal you, not the flashy, nice suits and Lamborghinis. If that's your thing, get it. But like, this isn't about that. This is about the internal Lamborghini. That's the funniest thing I've ever said. But we're tuning ourselves up. And I was talking to a guy last week, and he was like, well, I don't know why I can't do this. I'm like, well, you've spent 9 years in school to get your job, and then you're one of the executives, and you're really good at it, and you go to the gym all the time, and you study under Brazilian jiu-jitsu guys. Like, that takes a lot of work. Do you think you can deal with the mind and the emotions, which are the trickiest thing in the world, with 10 minutes of effort from like awareness, like, oh, I should probably fix this, like as if it's just going to fix. And some people can, most people can't. You got to put the effort in and time in. And so then I finished, and I was like, wasn't suffering anymore. So that was beautiful. And then my buddy in Pittsburgh says, sometimes what I believe to be God, some people call it the universe, whatever you want to call it, higher power, will give you pop quizzes. And my friend in Edmonton calls them SATs, spiritual aptitude tests. So then I was exhausted. I went to work all week after this. On Saturday, I was exhausted Saturday morning. Then I went to the gym, and I was lifting up some weights with my headphones on. And then someone came and grabbed me. Now, one of my cardinal rules is don't touch me. I hate it when people touch me, because I think when I was a kid, all the adults used to touch me. Like, you can't do that. I hate it. And then I hate being told what to do, especially I can't you can't do something and you have to do it, change it right now. I get so mad. So like this person grabbed me and said, I'm the manager here. You have to have your shoes on. And I was like, it'd never been an issue before. And I was so angry, like 0 to 1,000. And then I was like, all right, I bit my teeth, and I was like, fine. And I put my shoes on, and then I was mad as heck. And she kept talking. I was like, okay, good. And then I went over to her. I said, just to clarify, I was like, I can have shoes off here and here. It's even ridiculous to say so loud now, as if I get angry about this. But I was low energy. This is usually happens when we're low energy. And I'd slept like 3 hours the night before. And anyways, not excuses, just reality. She's like, yeah, you can. And we were like going at it toe to toe. And I'm like, I wanted to like what's your badge number? I want to email management. Nonsense. Anyways, so I'm steaming mad. I do some squats, and then I do deadlifts, which is, I'm actually there to like make my body feel good. But like my buddy says, it's for my mind. So then I'm steaming mad. Then I start doing some yoga, and I just started laughing at myself. And oh my God, this is a pop quiz. My buddy from Pittsburgh, I got a pop quiz, and I got a SAT, a spiritual aptitude test. Like my buddy from Edmonton says, I'm getting an F right now. So I walked over to the lady and said, look, with all the love of my heart, I'm so sorry I got so angry towards you. I'm not sorry that I got angry. It's fine. Emotions aren't bad. When I take it and throw it at you, that's bad. And then I went and started laughing. I just laughed. I got in the car and just drove home and laughed and laughed and laughed. So I'm low energy, and I got a pop quiz from the universe, and I failed, and then I passed. So then another big thing I do is I reflect, kind of what I'm doing in this video. But like, so now when I have a situation, I won't get angry like that again for years and years and years and years. I know I won't. Hopefully never again, but I may. But now I had an incident with my brother and my dad a couple of years ago. It was awful. It was like one of the reasons I started doing the steps, actually. And it was a bunch of events that had led up to it. So I went back and I checked all those things. It's kind of like a checklist manifesto, like have for airplanes and all that stuff. So now in the future, when I have an incident, or when I have someone coming to visit, I'll make sure I ask them a bunch of things, and like, would you like to do this? What would you like to do? And then really listen. And they're little tiny things, but like those, they just add up. And then what's my mental state, and what have I eaten, and have I slept well? And, do I have to spend time with them? Do we have to do all the things that we planned? And But those are just small things, but they'll help me so I don't get to those high watermarks. I don't want to get to them. They're going to come anyway, but if I can make effort, that's way better. So from the video today, I just want you to be able to take a look at your life, see where you're putting in the work, what's your process, what are your held beliefs, what stories do you tell, who do you tell them to, what towns do you visit, how long do you live in those towns, how does it feel, how do you forgive, how do you have gratefulness, how do you pray, how do you reflect, how do you get light, where's your community, all of these things, and they're really, really beautiful. How do you enter suffering? How do you get out of suffering? How do you clean up your side of the street? How do you take responsibility for your thoughts, feelings, speech, and actions? And how do you see a truth and let it go if it's no longer serving you? Some of it serves you, some of it doesn't serve you. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know who's watching this. I don't know who you are. But for me, what doesn't help is righteousness and anger. And those beliefs that are like, Mark Fry is this way. You don't do this to Mark Fry. Life's going to do whatever it wants to Mark Fry. And it's like Frankel. That's the stimuli. Then I have a choice in the pause before I respond. And if not, I use the react, and it's brutal. And that's the way I used to live my life. That's how all this started. These videos and the podcast and the coaching and the stuff. Because now I have something to share, because how are we getting ready for the high water marks? What are we doing in that pause? And what a joy and a blessing when you find a community that can help you find it within yourself, and you can live knowing that you're ready. And then when you might fail or one or two pop quizzes now and again from the universe, but hopefully you have systems in place that you can get right back to where you want to be, in a state of human condition, of ups and downs of life, knowing you're going to have ups and downs, but you're not beating yourself up so badly for it. You're giving yourself more love, patience, and kindness. Those things I say in all the videos. So thanks for watching. Leave a comment, subscribe. Any other topics you want to talk about, let me know. I really love doing this. It's super fun. And check out some more of the other videos. And thanks everyone for taking the time to watch this. It means the world.